Hi everyone and welcome to Mrs. Johnson's 4th grade class. Today's lesson is about force. Yesterday we defined force, a push or pull on an object, and today we're going to investigate how force happens. The Colorado Science Standards states, prepared graduate competencies in the physical science standard, observe, explain, and predict natural phenomena governed by Newton's law of motion, acknowledging the limitations of their application to very small or very fast objects. Today's book is Sheep in a Jeep, and the lesson is Picture Perfect Science Lessons, Chapter 14, page 191. I will begin by telling the class I'll be reading Sheep in a Jeep by Nancy Shaw. When I finish the book, the students will be asked to remember 2 forces described in the book. We will share these forces and create a word wall for our investigation. Sheep shove, sheep grunt. Sheep don't think to look up front. Jeep goes splash, Jeep goes thud, Jeep goes deep in the gooey mud. After the book is read, we'll discuss the forces represented in the book and use the examples on our word wall. The next stage is explore. We will randomly divide the class into groups of 3. I've collected materials to make ramps, and the group will be instructed to use these materials to make a special ramp. After the ramps are made, the class will reconvene, and everyone will choose the ramp he or she thinks will have the car going the furthest. We'll record everyone's guess. I will also ask the students, what do you see when you look at the ramps? They'll probably say the ramps are different, but hopefully some will come up with one being steeper, one being longer, and how that might impact the distance the car will travel. Then each student will take the same vehicle and run it down the ramp 3 times. We'll take an average of the distance of each run. I will ask the students how they determine average. Hopefully I will get a response somewhat saying by adding run 1, 2, and 3, then dividing it by the total number of runs, which is 3. This will give you the average distance traveled on the ramp. On the whiteboard, I will have created a graph and to invite the releaser to record the distance average from the group on the graph. When everyone's recorded their data, we'll reconvene and we'll discuss whether the predictions and the results were similar or if they were really different. The explain portion of the lesson, what does this graph tell us? Look at the different ramps and tell me what you see that might cause the difference in the distance. One might be steeper, one might be shorter, one might have a bump. These are the 3 ramps that you can see they're all slightly different heights, slightly different materials. Okay, Cade, why don't you start with the first ramp and let's see how far the fire truck goes. Okay, spot 1. Okay, do the second ramp. See how far the fire truck goes. Spot 2. Not very good at this. Okay, start on the third ramp. Okay, so ramp number 3, it went the furthest. Cade, what part of your ramp do you think impedes its progress?
More. It's going like this. So it's either it's hitting it with not just as it's hitting it with his wheels, like not like rolling out smoothly. It's rolling like that.
And what's the force we just talked about that causes that? What do you think that force is? And elaborate and explore has multiple parts. The students will be given sheep leap, and they will be asked to invent something with the materials on the material table that would slow the fall of a toy. After we've completed this, we will head to evaluate. The class will reconvene on the rug, will review the word wall, and individually the students will complete the motion quiz, which is also in the back of the book. It's a very detailed lesson, a very simple lesson, but it looks like something that the kids will be engaged in. The end.